All right. Well, I just had to get that before. Oh, okay. We live.
Yeah, we are live, sir.
You should be doing us, huh, Black Will?
Yeah, exactly. We are live, sir.
All right. Well, I would have given y'all the lineup, but y'all came in a little bit late, so we're gonna get it started. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Will get the parade and all the reasons on to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace. I love y'all.
The reasons that we're here.
Yeah. Man, stop it.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. I think about that every day, all the time.
All right, man. We live, y'all. We live. I appreciate you guys tapping in. It's your boy Fuel in the house.
That boy in the building, y'all know what type of time we on. We here.
Black lived in the place to be. Let's go.
Ladies, go on and introduce yourselves.
I'm Courtney. I'm here.
I am RP, Rhonda Cotton. I am in the building.
We got Dr. Rhonda Cotton with us again, y'all. Yeah, she's gonna be a permanent fixture. She just don't know yet, but that's okay. That's
Type shit.
Hey, Rhonda, that's how they wrote my ass in here. I've been here for 3 months now. I was supposed to be a guest, and now I'm on here every damn day.
That's what's
Hey, I can't even get my damn name in the title. Ain't that a trip?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
We gonna get all that. We gonna get that squared away.
You know what? We need to get down to Texas for real.
A new intro.
Yeah, do a new intro with you.
for you.
For real.
All right.
I'll take you out to the Alamo.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, man.
Where are we going?
We got a crazy lineup, you guys. We got a crazy lineup. Since our ladies just joined in, or whatever, I'm gonna get y'all the lineup real quick, and then we're gonna get it started. We're talking about which one of the main topics is can a relationship what was it, Fat Boy? Can a relationship, what was it?
Can a relationship survive,
succeed
without sexual?
Yes.
You got the wording over there, man.
Yes. Can a relationship succeed without sexual intention
With sexual satisfaction.
or satisfaction?
Oh,
I know, right? I don't know.
you got the wording over there. Don't even know.
I
Hey,
didn't put it
man.
in the thing right now.
Get your cousin, man. I've been telling you that every week. Get
I
your
can't
cousin,
look,
bro.
man.
All right, and then the other one is discipline someone else's kids in a relationship. You know, how can it go wrong?
Many ways.
And then we're gonna start off though. We got a dear brothers and sisters. I'll read that out to you. And then we also talking about the Black Billionaire, which is Fat Boy segment. David Stewart. We're gonna talk about him. All right, but before we get started, as you guys know, I'm always kind of like
I'm working, though.
I like to do our condolence to the family and people that passed away. If y'all remember last week, what is that noise? Is that me? I hear something. That you?
No, that ain't me. Somebody rattling over there.
It's rattling. Somebody's rattling. Let me see. Okay.
Stop
See,
touching.
now let's stop. Yeah, that's somebody. Anyway, rest in peace. I told you guys it happens in threes last week, and Fat Boy says, I don't know why you laugh. It does, though. It really does happen in threes. You know, you guys remember I told you about Frankie Beverly, James Earl Jones, and then there was Tito Jackson.
Who passed, though?
Tito Jackson, man.
Damn, Tito. So, hey,
Tito.
shout out Tito.
Yeah,
man.
but why you keep laughing when I say Tito Jackson? I don't even know
Hey,
why
because
you
you got
laughing.
me laughing at a sensitive subject, bro. Grow up, man.
Yeah, you laughing at it. But yeah, so Tito Jackson, the bass player and older brother of the Jackson Fives, passed away. So it's kind of like crazy how that happens in threes like that. That's how I see it sometimes. Maybe nobody else sees it like that, but that's kind of how I see it.
No, I got what you were saying.
Rest in peace to him. And then also, you guys, before we even get started, I kind of want to put out here for and those of you guys that's on Instagram. I see you, Miss Cole. I see you. I see work of art. That's that Art. What's up, Art? I see y'all on Instagram. Y'all can come in live here on YouTube and comment and all that good stuff. But we are live on Instagram as well, you guys. And then also you guys have the link in too where y'all can actually share it to y'all pages. So do that too. And everybody else is watching, share. But also I'm going to get into one of my best friends, my brother. If you guys haven't seen the post already, this my boy Lance from the group Low Key. He's been in and out of the hospital, and one of the reasons is getting infections and stuff like that, or whatever. That's keeping him down, like every 2 weeks or so. So I did put up a fundraiser, a GoFundMe for it, as you can see there up on the screen right now. There's a link there that you can actually go on and give whatever you can. If it's $5, $2, I don't care, whatever. Just show some love and hopefully help. Anything is appreciated. So go on there and help out. In case you didn't know, he was one of the Low Key founding members and producer of the group Low Key, R&B group Low Key. So anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys to at least pass on the information. Hopefully we can help him, because basically what it is the wheelchair that has to, mobile wheelchair that can stand up or whatever to keep him getting the infections, keep him from getting the infections and stuff. So yeah, that's my brother. So, show some love, show some love. That's what's up. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just get it. Yep.
All right. So
damn Tito, this nigga. Hey, get John, bro, out the comments, bro.
Tito.
Vlad, what's up, boy?
Oh, John's in the house. What's up with you, man?
Ignorant, man. I saw some people don't.
Who said Slim was live?
Because you said something. Damn, who, John? Hey, grow up, bro.
All right, man. So what's up, ladies? How y'all doing?
Yes, let's talk to these ladies. Hey, ladies.
What's good?
What's the word on the word?
It's good to have you. That's a big tattoo there, Courtney. What's going on there? What's this say?
Oh man, it says only God.
Oh, sweet.
I got it when I was a teenager.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. What's up?
It's actually a cover up, which is crazy.
Oh, okay. How's production going?
Production is good. Season's picking back up. It's a lot of movies going on down here. Really just trying to navigate between what I want and what I want to do with my career. Because I mean, at this point, you get to a certain point in your age where you don't do things you don't love anymore. So just navigating between those two paths and trying to balance out getting more involved in the community, because the movies, it's a crazy schedule and it doesn't give me much time outside to plan anything. So I was a teacher for film and entrepreneurship in Overtown for like 3 years, and I kind of had to stop because I was going down there twice a week, once an hour, and we were doing everything we could for the kids. But I had an epiphany, and God was like, you can't help everybody until you get where you're supposed to go. So that's where we're at. We got a lot going on.
So you feel like you're gonna change careers or something right now, or?
No. I've been in production for about I picked up my first camera when I was a kid. I think I touched on that. I feel like I touched on that the last time we were speaking. I grew up in a neighborhood where a lot of kids didn't make it out of, so I used to steal the little Kodak cameras, the little throwaway things. I used to take them from the neighborhood stores, and I just, everywhere I went, I took pictures. And then I got my first professional camera in like 2013. and I started as a still photographer, but essentially I'm a storyteller. So my career has evolved with that kind of baseline throughout. People were asking me for video. I noticed there was a lot of money in video. So next time I did a photo shoot, I did like little video, and then I started teaching myself how to edit. And the next thing you know, I was getting jobs doing video. And then I realized production was a shit show, and it was super unorganized, and people don't know how to talk to each other. And I pivoted that way, and I did really well because, you know, at the end of the day, any industry that you jump into, if you bring something different to the table, and sometimes that's just an attitude.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they're like, oh, well, this is how you do it in the industry. This is how we do it in Hollywood. This is how, you know, and it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. It's like, you used to be able to smoke cigarettes in hospitals. You used to be able to legally own people. You know, we don't get it right all the time.
Right,
You know,
right.
evolution is important. You feel me?
Exactly.
But I pivoted from live into film about a year ago, and God is good. I'm on my 7th film for the year. So I definitely cannot complain. I'm just keeping my mind open and trying. Like, I have a really, really fast moving mind, so I try to calm my shit and say, you know, me and Rhonda talk heavily about seasons, and knowing that, like, when I'm off a project or down from a project is because God is trying to tell me, hey, I need to go work on my health some more. I need to go work on getting back in the gym consistently, because it's hard as hell to go to the gym. When you're on 16-hour days for like 21 days straight, like, you know, it's like, it's almost to your detriment to go to the gym at that point. You're working off like 6 hours.
Right.
Trying to find that balance in between is really essential. And I think that for me, particularly speaking, God is not going to send me my husband until I figure out how to get these ducks in a row, because I already have a lot on my plate, and I don't want to enter something where they feel like I'm not showing up for them, or I don't have time for them. That could be a whole show.
Right. Just you know, like every project and stuff that you're doing, you know, just kind of like inform us so we can put it on the show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and get it out there. You know what I mean? And you know, your man's coming along. He's coming. He's probably watching you right now. You never know.
Hey, go.
Why y'all always laughing at me, man? I do that.
Cousin,
I just said he might be watching.
Hey, because what you said your cousin was, Black Liv? Because you said he was something, didn't you?
I told you, yeah.
I don't know, man. Definitely, Woody. All right, man. All right, so let's get into the first topic, y'all. Let's get into the first topic.
To Diddy.
Yeah. So as you guys know, and have you guys been reading about, you know, Puffy, P. Diddy.
He looked like he can't wait to get to the baby oil right there.
Yeah, he looked mad greasy. He looked greasy in that picture.
It's like, no, that's what I was just gonna say. Is it just me, or immediately, like, every picture that you've seen of this guy,
He looked greasy.
he looks crazy, like diabolical. Like, how were they missing it for so long?
Yeah,
They weren't missing it. They were just not. They were not addressing it.
Yeah.
There were signs.
That part.
The signs were there.
Okay, so I mean, what do you guys, as far as like, because I don't believe
lubrication, like, what? Did you guys see the stuff that they pulled out?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know as far as like what he actually, I mean, him by himself. I mean, it's not illegal to have baby oil. I don't know what.
No, it is not.
No,
it is not illegal to have 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. It's not illegal.
But we know what's going on there.
Exactly.
I try to help Diddy now.
Hey,
it's funny, but it's not, because people around for years have been saying, man, don't go to a Diddy party. It's been, I mean, for years. This is nothing new to anybody that's been watching him and watch how he moved. He moved grimy. Everybody was like, man, look, fuck that. Look, Kevin Hart. I ain't going to no Diddy party.
Right.
You got me. You know what I'm saying? And it was mostly comedians, so everybody thought it was funny and all of this, but they was being dead ass.
Right.
Don't go to a Diddy party.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, you know, we all didn't, you know, nobody really took it like,
No.
that it was really something that deep going on, you know. But
Well,
we're
you know
talking
what?
about sex trafficking. We're talking about, you know,
Yeah.
use all this type of thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was going on, and the only thing that bothers me, guys, now Jeff, he's, you know, totally in the wrong. But the only thing that bothers me is those that are around him that was in the wrong just as well. He wasn't there by himself. He didn't do it by himself. There's witnesses. There's other people that was at part, not just that seen it, but been a part of it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think as it starts to develop, those things are gonna unfold.
Yeah.
And are gonna
Just
be
like
called.
with-
It's gonna be like a peeling of an onion type of situation. What I find crazy is like that people are so baffled by it. In the history of human beings, whenever you give a certain person power, do they not abuse it in some crazy way? Like that's kind of par for the course. You have your Epsteins, you got your Diddy's, you have your R. Kelly's, but it's like you don't see, and you know, maybe this is just my perspective, but you don't really see the criminalization or like the way that they put Diddy on blast or R. Kelly on blast. Like even with Epstein, it's not the same. Like there's so many powerful Harvey Weinstein, look at all the shit he did. And there's like no information about it. People don't even talk about it. People still talk about the guy in
But he's almost dead. So that's probably why, because he's dying right now, you know, after he got locked up, his whole health went down. But you know, the problem is this: when you have the public idolizing these people that, you know, they're paying for entertainment. So now instead of us just enjoying the entertainment, we start idolizing, and then the things that they do, they make a big deal out of it. And so people start making a big deal out of it. So now you have kids that are trying to emulate what they see. They get information. Kids are sitting up researching and Googling more than we do. So therefore, they're getting information fast, like in real time, especially if they're connected to something that definitely gives them that information concerning whomever it may be. But see that when we start, you know, putting people where they need to be, and as you said, you know, with him right now, they're not implementing anybody else. But as soon as he gets to the point where he can't handle the pressure, the cage bird will sing.
Oh yeah.
He
already said he's gonna sing like a bird in this.
No, I've already said when you deal with stuff like this, when we were talking off air about this, and I said they want him, but they even want higher people in Hollywood that participated in this. So when you deal with crimes like this and any other crime, the last one in gets the most time. So I promise you, it's people tripping over themselves right now to get in and tell their story and get their deal made before it all goes south. Because if you're the last one in, you get the longest time. The first one in, hey, you get the deal.
My question was off air. Who did he piss off? Because he been doing this shit for years. They said the indictment since
the
2009.
Cassie thing was the linchpin of all of this. Cassie was the linchpin. Yeah.
So when Cassie opened the gate and you know, sued him, now she's been gone from him for a while, but the statutory of limitation had not expired. So she was able to sue him for all the things that he did, and she had the proof.
Well, I know that that's the point that I'm trying to make is he definitely pissed somebody off because
it's her. Well,
Cassie.
Cassie. Right?
No, Cassie.
No.
What I mean by that is not before her. Is I'm saying that beyond her, bigger than just Cassie.
Oh, well, after Cassie came out, I believe that it woke people up.
Right.
When
what happened?
And other people
Because
well, what?
But so let me say this: when you are a victim, and you're a victim of sex crimes or anything illegal that puts you in harm's way, normally people conform to the abuser because it's easier. And when you have a person that has that kind of power, you do what they say. That's why with Weinstein and all of them, why it was so devastating, because you have these women that were in the industry trying to make a name for themselves, and you have these people in power that was pulling the strings and the gatekeepers. So you don't say anything until finally somebody gets brave enough to come through the door and say, hey, I don't like this. This is what happened to me. So with Weinstein, the only reason why things started plucking at him when they went after Bill Cosby. So once they got Bill Cosby, then the women started waking up and talking about all the other things that have been going on in Hollywood that people have been doing. Weinstein was one of those big players. So therefore, all these women that have their careers either bombed or didn't go anywhere, or they might have made a little headway, but the fact is they're still victims. No matter what age they are now, they were still a victim. And it's the same thing with P. Diddy. Cassie, all the other people that have been quiet were quiet because all the power. He's the gatekeeper. So when you have a gatekeeper, they control a lot of things. And so until you get brave enough to know that even if nothing happens as far as what you get, other people wake up because now they don't have to live in that fear because the person's been exposed. Nobody really wants to be the first to expose somebody. But when the first person does it, everybody that's been victimized.
The door has been open.
So the dominoes fell. Jaguar Wright had been saying this for a long time, but Diddy and them kind of framed her as being crazy.
They sure did.
So no one believed her. So when Cassie came into the picture and she was a credible person and he paid her off with the quickness, what happened with that is that's when they rolled on Diddy and they caught his white boy drug dealer at the airport with all that dope on him. Once they caught him with that dope, that's what opened up the whole investigation. Cassie was the beginning, and then the dope guy, that's what opened up the federal investigation to where he is now.
Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes it's ironic how it happens, you know, when someone gets bigger than their britches. I think that's where you was going, kind of, Fat Boy.
I just feel like
he was kind of like Bill. I'm just saying, it's just like Bill Cosby. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like Bill Cosby. They have
been following you for
right. That's what I'm saying.
Let him commit.
It's like Bill Cosby, what y'all say?
Harvey Weinstein.
Weinstein, all them. You know what I'm saying? This is basically when they get a certain point and feel like that they shit don't stink. You know what I mean? And they can get away with whatever they want to get away with or whatever, especially when you know, getting paid billions and billions of dollars or whatever, and you're invested in these businesses or whatever, and somebody in that business, I think sometimes they get pissed off or whatever the case would be and be like, hey, you might be big now, but I got something on you. I got something on you. You know what I mean? And when as soon as you mess it up, you gone, you dead, you done. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always somebody bigger than the person that's, you know, that we see. You know?
Listen, what you also have to know and understand is that Diddy knew this was coming. That's why he sold his shares in Ciroc and he sold his shares in Revolt, the TV station, at the TV channel he had. He sold out of everything because he knew this shit was coming. He knew he was under investigation, and so he was trying to stack his paper. And that's why everybody's like, man, you knew that was coming for you. Why you didn't try to leave the country? Nothing. This fool, they arrested him the day before. He was in the park in New York, just taking pictures with fans and signing stuff because he knew it was coming.
I think just because you get so used to doing what the hell you want, you don't think they coming, or you don't care if they.
He knew that was coming. That's why he sold all his stuff.
At this point, you don't care.
He knew that was coming. Yeah.
Because I would have got on the first thing little. I would have been like, I would have sold everything and ended up wherever Russell Simmons is. I would have called Russell and said, Russell, where the hell you at? Because I'm out of here. It's over with.
All right, man. Yeah, enough of Diddy.
Diddy's a fucking fool.
If you guys got any comment, don't be shy, don't be scared. Because sometimes, you know, when I get off of this daggone live, I'll be seeing you guys out. Anyway,
we're gonna call him OG Baby moving forward.
I'll be seeing y'all. All right, man. Let's get into it, man. You already know it's that time. For History and Blackness with our boy Fat Boy. I ain't get my sound out.
Hey, man. Somebody do something with your cousin, bro.
Who we got, man?
Get your cousin. We got David Stewart today. Let me pull it up.
You should have. What? You ain't even
already
cute.
got it up. Yeah, I'm cute.
And talking about me.
I'm ready. You ready? All right. David L. Stewart. was was born on July 2nd, 1951 in Chicago, Illinois, and was raised in Clinton, Missouri. His early life was shaped by poverty. His family lived on a small farm without indoor plumbing or heating. His father worked with multiple jobs to support the family, instilling a work ethic in David. Stewart graduated from a segregated Clinton High School in 1969 and later earned a business admin degree from Central Missouri State University in 1973.
CMSU Mules, let's go.
He began his career in sales, notably working for Federal Express, where he was named Salesman of the Year in 1981. In 1980, Stewart founded Worldwide Technology, WWT, a leading provider of IT services specializing in telecommunication and government contracts. The company has grown exponentially, becoming one of the largest Black-owned businesses in the U.S. with numerous accolades, including being named Black Enterprises Company of the Year. Stewart's impact on both the tech industry and the African-American business community is profound. A little-known fact about Stewart is that he started college as a walk-on basketball player before earning a scholarship.
Wow.
And that's it's history and blackness, you
Your
guys.
cousin can't cue up no sound, bro. Get your cousin, Blackwood. If he can't cue the sound and say his damn life, boy.
Nothing.
Whatever, man. I shouldn't have to do all this work, man. All right, man. So that's history and blackness, y'all.
I'm
Black-owned
excited for the
billionaire.
ladies. I'm excited for the ladies' opinion on the topics today, though.
Oh yeah. Okay, so well, let's get into it then, man. Let's get into this topic. All right, the first one we're gonna talk about here, you guys. Discipline someone else's kids in a relationship. How can it go wrong? That's my question.
You said, how can it go wrong?
Yeah,
It's
how can-
easy.
you said,
How
right.
can it go wrong? How can it go wrong? It's real easy.
Yeah.
How can it
You
go
gotta
right?
look.
Yeah, give me
Look.
some stuff.
Okay, look. So when you go into that situation, that's something that has to be discussed before you get into that relationship. Not after, not the day of, but before you get into that relationship. That's how it can go wrong.
So you
Because
said,
if you don't look, you know what you're getting into. Okay.
Mhm.
This is somebody else's kids.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, when y'all do hook up and they end up becoming your kids, the discussions need to be had upon how discipline is going to be handled, what you can and what you can't do. That's how it can go wrong. Because if you don't get that up front, it ain't gonna be nothing but a shit show from start to finish. And it's gonna be, you can't touch my kid, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, and you know that's where a lot of these type of relationships end up going wrong. And especially if there's a baby mama or baby daddy that's still involved, because if some stuff go down, it's gonna be some fights at your house.
right.
Yeah. Well, you have to, in all adults involved,
Mhm.
the father, the mother, if there's another spouse with the father or the mother, all adults involved need to have a conversation. Because having a conversation lets not only each other know where you stand, but it also lets the child know that it's a unified front amongst the adults. So if anything happens, that the adults are in agreement about how it should be handled. Because at the end of the day, wherever the child is laying his head at, those parents are responsible. I tell people all the time, if the father or the mother is not there and someone comes to the door and snatches the child out, they hold the adult accountable that's within the house. So if I got to have that much responsibility and I can't discipline if necessary, then I don't want the responsibility. I'll just do without that and stick to what I know, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to jail for something that I don't get to have real responsibility or control over when it comes to behavior. I think people, depending on what you are experiencing with the person, how they interact with their own children.
Right.
If they're saying or not saying, if they're lovingly, if they're just with you because they want to be with you, but the package is package. So you can tell the people that want to deal with the relationship genuinely and the person's responsibilities because it's a package. So
Right.
you think like, okay, this is her, this is him, these are their children. Now, if I'm going to be in this with him, I know there's no escaping. I have to interact. I have to engage. I have to respect. I got to be able to talk to them like I talk to my own children. I don't treat them any differently. Part of the problem, a lot of times, you have people coming in that may have their own children, but then they treat the girlfriend or the boyfriend's children differently. You know, like they don't matter. No, all of them matter. So if we ain't on that page, then we can't talk. And I mean, this is something that I actually went through with my my son's dad. Because I said, hey, I don't care who you married to, but if we can't talk and we don't get along,
Right.
oh, that could be a problem.
Right.
Thinking that it was about me being the problem. No, I'm good. But I want you to understand this. When I'm not around and my child is with you, he's used to his mother. They're used to their mom. So they're going to come to a female, a woman figure that is a mother figure before they probably ever go to their dad about anything. So you got to be able to step in that position for me and have my back while you have my child. Because if you can't handle that, then you can't handle being in his life because I'm not playing games with you. So we had to have this conversation. Once me and her had the conversation, life was cool. She would meet me halfway. She was the one picking them up and dropping them off. Because you got to have that talk. And so many.
But what was the conversation though between you and him?
Oh, that look, he didn't have to worry about seeing his child if me and her couldn't talk. I got to pay attention to the signs because when one or the other tries to keep you from talking to their spouse, you're married to someone and living with them.
That's super valid.
Being a girlfriend and live in another house, you're married to a person that lives with you. You have other children in the house. And if I can't talk and communicate with her, then you and me ain't talking about him coming nowhere because I need to know and understand that no matter if I'm there or not, somebody has his back, especially if his father's not in the house.
What if you don't like the way someone is disciplining your significant other, discipline your kid, being that he's not the father, he's not the how does that work? Because you say like y'all been together, everything else is cool in the relationship, you know what I'm saying, y'all building stuff, whatever, but then when it comes to the kid, it's kind of like, if he's taking on the role as a father, in that family or whatever, how, if what happens if you do not like the way he's talking to your kid, or what I'm saying, but it's only his way of knowing to discipline him.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a problem because that's how he grew up. That ain't a problem for me. That's just you got to pay attention to the adult based on how they grew up, what they were exposed to, how they were disciplined. People repeat what they've been how they've been treated.
But is that on the choice of say like you, or for the female or male, whatever, as to how that person grew up in order to say this is the person I want to be with?
So exactly, because you got to pay attention. So when I was engaged and we were together and I paid attention because there were some things y'all can tell when somebody's off. You know when things ain't right, but we sweep it under the rug because we so excited about being with them. But when you see a red flag, you got to address the red flag. You don't just let them keep throwing flags at you. You got to address it. And
Dr. Cotton, you just hit it on the head. That's what a lot of people tend to ignore. The first thing you need to watch is watch the relationship between the birth parents.
Yes.
If they have a bad relationship, that should be a red flag that you're not going to be able to do anything to that child.
But that can't be 100% absolute, because if I was raised a certain way or whatever, and I came out okay, and I'm thinking that the person that I'm with sees that I'm an okay person, but yet I discipline your child probably the same way that I was raised or whatever, and she's probably against that or what you know what I'm saying?
But once again, like Dr. Cotton says, that's something that needs to be discussed between all three of y'all.
Right.
Someone is going to have to compromise. If you was raised where you got your butt beat, okay, but you're gonna try to hit on somebody else's kid, that's something that y'all have to agree to that, or y'all have to figure out what's gonna be the steps to follow with that.
Yeah, you touch my kid, I mean, we just got
and that's exactly what I'm talking about.
This is the thing. So everybody, you have all these children growing up in blended families. A lot of them are not experiencing none of this because that's just not. They have an agreement. The parents are working together, whether it's the parents that are in the house that the children live in, or the parents that are in the other house that the children go to. Everybody's on one accord. When you put everybody on the same page, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to things, this is the thing for me. When you're a parent and you have children and you know, your ex is married and he has someone, but the child is living with me and I may be dating in a relationship. We all have an agreement and understanding how discipline goes, because to me, depending on what's happening, things are just natural for kids to do. So some things you just don't need to be bugged out. You just got to talk to them and say, hey, that's not the reality. Let's do this. You know, sometimes you can tell kids, look, your actions will cause a reaction. And normally the reaction you don't want. So I suggest that you think about what you're doing or what you did, because the reaction you're going to get, you're not going to like it. Kids will pay attention. And it doesn't always take taking your hands to them and things like that. It is having a genuine conversation, but the adults 100% have to be on the same page. And if you with somebody and they say, you know what, that's too much for me, guess what? They wasn't for you anyway. So you need to find something else, do something else, but you got to make sure that your children come first. And if the person you with doesn't understand that there's just some things I'm not going to tolerate, because it may trigger me or whatever, then you got to be understanding. And sometimes it's best to raise your babies by yourself until you get to the point where they go off to school and you can just be on your own, doing your own thing, because then that alleviates any problems. It's way too, I just saw on the news the other day, the young man killed the girlfriend's baby. How in the world? But all the abuse, this is the problem when you growing up.
How in the world, like, you think she could have been with that person knowing that he's probably.
But he was abusive to her. Let me tell you something. The baby that just died, he's been abusive. So what happens is, if you a person and you're not growing up in an abusive household, guess what happens? You can get brainwashed. Because an abuser automatically say, I'm sorry, you made me do it. I love you. You know, if you love me, you stay. They go through all this stuff to mentally abuse you and psych you out, and then they're doing this all throughout your home. And then you wake up and you go wherever, and the next thing you know, you come back and your baby's gone.
And another thing,
you've been quiet. What do you got?
I just ain't trying to cut nobody off.
Another thing that they have to understand is that you can't group parent. And what I mean by that is, when it comes to kids, right? You can't, if you got 2 or 3 kids in the house, you have to discipline each child based on what they do. You can't hand out group punishments. You can't do this. You know, just like Dr. Cotton said, every action has a reaction. So basically, I'm not going to treat you the same way that I treat this child, because you're different people. Punishment and things cannot be collective. No. It has to be based on what that child does and how that child acts and how they react.
I think the issue is that what y'all mentioned the adults, but no one mentioned the importance of involving the children in this process. Right? We have to first, as co-parent and as people who are living together in a relationship, one, the child does not dictate this household, right? Because that's a quick way. As long as a person is not harming that child, as long as a person is not beating that child, it should never be my child is first, right? It should be 2 co-parents. It should be 2 people in a relationship meeting at an agreement and then disciplining the child on the same wavelength and with the same agenda. So when you go over here, it's the same discipline. When you go over here, it's the same discipline, because what happens is there becomes a disconnection with the child, right? Because now as a child, I can play daddy against mama, mama against daddy. And that also affects the relationship because as a team, we need to say, hey, you're going to listen to Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles ain't been doing you wrong. You're gonna listen to Miss Coretta, because if Miss Coretta has been taking care of you and doing right by you, will be disciplined. Now we can all talk about, are we whooping? Are we doing standards? Do we do punishment? Right? These are the things that we all need to get together and do. But the child has to be included.
But most of that is going to go. Most of that is going to go without saying, like speaking to the child.
Yeah.
That is going to happen. That has to happen. But there's a reason why and what dictates this is the amount of involvement in your child's life.
Right.
Because there's a reason that there is a term out there called treat mom or treat dad. Because you don't have to discipline because you only around every other weekend, so everything is hunky-dory, cool in the fan. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you're going to talk to your children, but it still comes down to the amount of time that they're interactive in their child's life.
You got to also understand this, that when a child is being raised and the parents are separated, you got to put a village around that. And the village is the parents with the spouses, not the boyfriends and girlfriends, because they may not be there long, but the parents that are married, they have a right and a duty to parent together. Because guess what? If Johnny needs to be picked up and I can't get him and dad can't get him, my husband or the wife needs to be able to go get them. Because you can't just use parents that, I had somebody say, well, can't nobody, I don't want anybody to discipline my child, but they want the wife or the husband to help them take care of their child.
Right.
They want the wife and the husband to run
You can
around.
take care of them, but you can't discipline.
And that's nonsense. I believe that has to be nonsense.
Exactly. But this is why, if you're going to make me responsible for your child, then there has to be an agreement. I don't need to spank them because we can have a strong conversation.
Yes, we can. Yes, we
But
can.
the reality is, it's not going to be a time where your child is flippant or talking crazy and I'm buying clothes and cooking and helping pay for a roof over your head. And they just going to walk around here and say what they want to say, like they the adult and I'm the child. That's not happening. So you got to have a village to raise these kids. And when you have a village and everybody's talking, if they do good, you brag about them. If they jack up, you talk about it. Why? Because you want them to know it's going to be consistency all across the board. I'm not going to brag on you because you're an honor student. When you come in here talking crazy or you smoking and you ain't supposed to be smoking, then I'm about that too, because they know we're not going to sit here and hide behind anything. You got to take ownership of what you do, and that starts teaching them at a very young age how to take ownership for their stuff.
Before we go to
we got comments.
the comments, but Courtney, you've been quiet over there. What's the deal?
Listen, one, I don't have kids,
right?
And I don't have children yet. And
okay, good. So you don't have a kid. So if you was in if you was in that particular situation, how would you go about doing it?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I don't believe that any parent, period, and this is just my personal opinion, should put their hands on a child because violence only begots violence. Like, I think it's really important that 9 times out of 10, when you're beating your child, you've lost your patience. And they're a child. You're the parent. You're the adult. You're the one who's supposed to be guiding them. They're supposed to be making bad decisions. So every time they make a bad decision and you whoop them, why are they going to come to you when they have a problem? They're not. You're not going to see their true, authentic self whatsoever because you've trained them that when they make a mistake, you don't have the patience to go through and discipline them in the correct way, which is verbally and really making them understand the root of what they did wrong, why it could go wrong in the future, and how it could affect the things that they have going on. So I don't think I'd ever run into an issue with like putting my hands on a kid, but like I work with the kids and I always make the joke, like I fight kids. I tell them all the time, I fight kids because the kids are spicy. These teenage kids, they're spicy.
And then sometimes you have kids that try to intentionally, because of the fact that your relationship, that they get the attention, say for instance, the mother get the attention to the boyfriend or husband or whatever, to the, well, not husband, just say boyfriend. I'll be talking about just regular boyfriend girlfriend relationship. And then, you know, they're getting attention. That child wants that attention. So sometimes they would do something to get your, you know, just, you know, to be against, you know, to get y'all against each other. How do you handle that?
A relationship, or when you're coming into a relationship with things that already exist, there's already foundations that exist, there's relationships, there's years that you don't have any history, you know, with the entirety of the family that you're stepping into. I think as the person stepping in, especially without children, it's very important for us to be patient and for us to be extremely inclusive of the children the entire time. And that also is going to dictate or depend on like the age of the child. You know, if I'm coming in and the kid's like 4 or 5 years old, we're off to Chuck E. Cheese, you know, we buy stuff, we have a good time. That's the speed. But if I'm coming into a relationship and he's got a 13-year-old little girl, 14-year-old little girl, 15-year-old little girl, and she loves her mom, and her mom does nothing but talk bad about her dad and how the new wife is the reason why they're not together, because those toxic relationships exist with, and you know, it is what it is. But women, some women are known to weaponize children, and they really put a huge dagger into the health and the growth of the child. It's not in the relationship on the other side. And I think that that's really the conversation. And like, where do you navigate? How do you navigate that? Like, you know, this is not a girlfriend. This is someone who's been married. They're married. This is how things are. Maybe the husband's not as weak. Maybe the wife is not as strong, but there's some sort of like disconnect. And the person who suffers the most is the child. So as like in a very long-winded way, like, you got to focus on the kid. You got to focus on the kid, and you got to keep the line of communication open with your spouse, regardless of what's coming on the outside from the, like, you know, in my example for the ex-wife and her new husband, regardless of whatever they're doing, we have to make sure that on our home front, that child knows they're supported, they're heard, they're valid, you know, and create that space for them to where they feel comfortable enough to come to talk to me in the first place about issues that they might be feeling. So, you know, hopefully all that would mitigate not having to discipline the damn kid to begin with, and it wouldn't be discipline, it would be guiding the child. You know what I'm saying?
That's like in a perfect situation, basically.
But kids need their ass.
Well, these kids.
No.
And
another thing.
No. If you got a backbone, you take something that they want. Because let me tell you, man, I got 2 brothers that got all nieces, and when I go back home to visit, they do not play about Auntie Courtney time. Like, all I have to do is look at my youngest niece. Like, you want to? I was
just curious. That's all I got to do. Every time I'm in a relationship with somebody and a kid, all I got to do is just look at their kid, like, and they just kind of, I don't know, they straighten up with me.
Patience. They have finite amount of patience. You're with that kid all the time. There's only so much you can handle. So there's a cutoff moment. I'm Auntie Courtney. I don't have kids. I got all the time in the world. I sit you down Indian style in front of me, and we just look at each other.
Mm-hmm. Like, what's up?
Like, we're gonna get to a dialogue, especially if they're younger, you know.
But what people need to understand, and what needs to happen more often, people, y'all got to stop traipsing in all these boyfriends and girlfriends to your kids. Don't introduce nobody to your kids until you think it's going to be something serious. That is probably the #1 problem. You can't be bringing every Tom, Dick, and Harry into your crib and introduce them to your kids. No. That unfortunately, that's one of the things in this society that needs to change instantly. When I got with my current wife, she didn't meet my son for it was a minute. It was a little minute, because I'm not finna be bringing 3, 4. That ain't happening.
Right.
You know, the problem is this generation, and why I think that they do this is because they need help.
Yeah, of course they need help.
Let's get to these comments, guys.
They're not thinking about the effects it's gonna have on the kid, or the quality of what they're bringing in. All they know is they're tired and they want help.
Yeah. Let's get to the comments. It's like walking a tightrope, is what Jill was saying. You want to parent how you've been doing it, but your stepchildren are raised differently. It can go wrong quickly, in which it can go wrong very quickly, because like you guys said already earlier, if y'all didn't have that discussion at the very beginning, and it ends up evolving into an argument between you and that person or whatever because of the kid, because of maybe what you said to him, how you felt like you was disciplined in a way, it's gonna go wrong quickly. She also said that, oh yes, Dr. Cotton, why can't they talk to their ex? That could be a red flag.
Well, because sometimes people, when you have an ex and he mad at you or she mad at you, they don't want you to talk to who they with because they don't want the truth to come out.
So look. A lot of times that ex don't want to be an ex.
No, and that's the other thing you got to realize is sometimes when people are the people that are no longer in the midst of the whole relationship, they don't want the person to be happy. And if they can get a right, this is where if a man or a woman that whoever I'm dating and my kids, their father, if he knows that he can get a rise out of the person that I'm dating, then that's what he will do because he wants the person to feel like he still got some leverage. As the person who is no longer with the ex, you have to make sure you ensure whoever you with that's over with. And when the ex starts or acts crazy, you got to check them. Like you can't let them just be talking crazy to the person you with, and then you don't want the person you with talking crazy to them.
Right.
So there has to be a level of respect, and if we can't have a level of respect, then guess what? I'm gonna have my peace. So I'm not talking to my ex. You're gonna be on ice for a little bit, and then when you figured out how to talk to me and not be so rude and disrespectful, and even with his wife, I mean, one time she blew up with me, and she's like, "Well, stop calling my husband." I said, "Who the HE double hockey sticks you talking to?"
Anyway, they say HEW.
Oh look, that's a big one too. You're like, why you keep calling my husband all the time? Why you keep calling my wife all the time?
The fact is this: if I wanted him, I would have had him still.
Yeah,
but I didn't. I'm the one that left. He didn't leave. I left. So the reality is this: you telling me what not to do when there's something that we have to deal with for the next 18 years, and so this is not going away. And since it's not going away, you're going to have to figure out, you and me going to have a relationship. And so when me and her finally sat down and talked, she was like, she understood. Because I said, hey, what's not about to happen, I will snap. So when mine shows up and something's going on, he's going to be reaching for you. He ain't reaching for his daddy. Reaching for the comfort and the nurturing that he's used to, which is his mother. So he's coming to you. So when we got that understanding, we were cool. We have no more problems, but you got to be able to talk. And I'm not a person that I'm not going to be cussing at you. I'm not going to be doing. We're going to have a strong conversation like you just got to do. And then after we have that conversation, we're going to have a clear understanding of each other. And my thing is respect. I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. But if we got something in common, we have to respect that and make sure that the responsibility for whatever it is that we have in common is being taken care of. So they don't see and miss no love from my side. They missing no love from your side.
Right.
So we got to do what we have to do. You just can't keep playing around and make it about you. You're an adult. You made a choice.
Hit that with that boy.
Vladimir says, I'm not going for no other man disciplining my child. Hence why it is imperative to be as active as you can, no matter how bad your relationship with the other parent. I earned the right to, and then he went to another one. By owning my responsibility as their dad.
And that's great. So, Vladimir, the thing is this: when you are being a responsible father, you don't really have to ever worry about somebody else really disciplining your child when you're building a relationship with the other man, whether it's her husband or her boyfriend. The thing is this: coming together and showing that you can respect another man who may be living in the house with your child, who's paying rent, buying groceries, buying clothes, doing things for your child that you do. So you can't take that from him, because he's acting as a surrogate father for your child. So no, you may not want him to discipline your child, but there has to be a conversation as to how you all can communicate.
I think, yeah.
And especially
hold on, Woody. when you take on a relationship with someone, and like like it could be people just like JoJo is saying, or Vladimir. You have to have a conversation with the father or with the other person. You have to have a conversation with them. You know what I mean? Especially if you have the I don't want to say attitude or mentality to be like, oh, don't discipline my kid. You know,
but especially if they laying their head down in their house.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is when you like, okay, for example, my daughter and my daughter's mother's husband, was trying to discipline my daughter, but the way he was doing it, did I agree to it? No. Did she agree to it? No. But she's with him. So I had to go to this man and have a man-to-man conversation on how we discipline my daughter together, because he's involved in her life. You know what I mean? She's there all night with her. And then after I had that, I had the conversation with my daughter and letting her know what she can do and cannot do with this guy around this, you know what I'm saying? When he says, I mean, if he's, abusing you, touching you, doing some crazy, you come and tell that. What's up? Period. But if he's telling you, hey, you need to do your homework, hey, you need to do it, or it's time to go to bed, it's time to, whatever it is, what you're supposed to be doing that you know that your mama agreed to, that y'all supposed to be doing, do it. And it'd be no problem. And that's the type of respect that I got from this man, you know what I'm saying? Because I basically had that conversation with him, you know what I'm saying? And for Vladimir, basically when you have someone in there, but you have to have that discussion. You have to have that discussion with the guy. Even if you don't even like the guy, you might not like or whatever, but we're talking about your kid. You know what I'm saying? And it's about them. You know what I'm saying? It's not about y'all and how y'all feel. And if you still want to be with the old girl or whatever, and she's not with you now, it's not about that. It's all about you and your daughter, your kid or whatever, and the responsibility that this person's taking upon, your ex and the kid or whatever, and the respect that he should give you and you should give him. Period. That's what it comes down to.
And like I said, especially if you laying your head down in their house, you know what I'm saying? If you laying your head down there in their house, Vlad, you can't expect somebody to call you 24/7, 365 when your child needs to be disciplined. That's just downright insane. Because you're not in that house. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the full scope of everyday, day-to-day operations that are going on in that house. So that's definitely like you said, huh?
The kids can lie. Daddy, he did that or whatever, and you know what I'm saying? So like I said, that's why you got to have that conversation with them.
Exactly.
And if your kid is lying, then I'll confront my kid. Don't lie. If you lying or whatever, and I find out you lying, then you already know you're in more trouble.
But it still comes down to, like I said, if you living in that house, you have to follow the household rules.
Yeah, you do.
That's the way it goes. And like Vlad saying that, you're not gonna let no other man discipline. So I'm guessing, once again, you expect them to call you every time something go wrong. They got to call you and ask you, all right, man, what would you do? What you gonna do? Well, how should I handle this? The world don't work like that.
No, you can't call my house, because then now you're controlling my house.
Exactly.
So no, you don't get to call my house. I like what Jill said. Jill was saying, having family meetings, which is what I had did with my boys, and then I know my sister and them, they did the same thing, because sometimes it's just a conversation helping them understand, growing matters, things, growing pains, because kids tend to think they're the only ones, and we old and we don't know nothing. We didn't go through any, teenage years or, being young and having to deal with adversity. They think, oh, y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all old. But the reality is, sometimes when you're telling truth to your children, it helps them understand better. The reality is, when some parents give too much facts, too much information, because now you're equipping the kid to think that they're on your level. And
you can't have grown folk conversation with a kid.
No, and that's what happens a lot of times.
People do that because they feel like, oh, I don't hide nothing from my kid. I can talk about my kid about anything. No, you can't. Not
Yeah,
mature. Their minds are mature enough to take it in the way that you probably think that they should take it in. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do that. You know what I mean? But what you can do, like Jill said, is have a family conversation. I can sit down and whatever together. This is because this is where our relationship is. This is where it is. I'm not with daddy no more. I'm with such and such. You know what I'm saying? And this is basically where he is. You live here. We live here. When you with daddy or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and his girlfriend or whatever, we have to have those conversations. That's the problem with some people that have big breakups, because they don't ever have that conversation, and they will have the same outlook as or the same opinion as Vladimir would or whatever.
Right.
It's like, no, they ain't disciplining my kid. I don't care who he is. You know what I'm saying? And that just you can't control. You can't control the other person's household. Like you guys were saying. So what did Jill say? Jill said, and don't
rush a child into an instant family. Yeah, let it happen organically and respectfully.
I like that.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, I agree with that.
He said, I've been with the ex that didn't want to be ex, growing pains. It gets like that sometimes.
No, he said he's been the ex that didn't want to be ex.
Yeah.
That's why you don't want nobody discipline your damn kid, boy.
Y'all so cold. I've learned some things today.
Y'all so old.
Oh man, old.
I said cold. I ain't old.
Right. Hello, I'm not old either. What are you talking
Y'all so cold.
No, so that's a friend of mine. He
okay. Well,
yeah, Austin Young.
That's what's up. Selena, hey, thanks for joining us on Instagram. Instagram Live will be going off, you guys, in a minute. So go to YouTube Live so you can actually watch the rest of the show, because we still got a couple of more topics to get on. Fat boy, you done on this topic, man?
Yeah, I'm done, y'all.
You was pretty quiet on this topic, dog.
No, I was letting y'all
You
do
got some things you need to work out or what?
No, I'm good. I'm going to the next topic.
Look, man, Phil gonna have this show 3 damn hours, man. I'm gonna need you to
Sweet, I told him that.
Damn, man.
Y'all know I can listening to y'all. What you talking about?
Man, look.
It's supposed to be.
We ain't getting paid by the minute, man. Come on.
No, Fat Boy did not say 3 minutes a person. Let's roll back all the tapes in about last 6 months.
Yeah.
I've been trying to cut it short though.
You just got to show that the ladies are on now.
Well, I know we got more. I know it's multiple.
Yeah.
It's multiple people. So.
All right, well, let's get into this next one. Can Erasure have a? Oh, wait a minute. Which one was it? Dang it! Why do I keep getting on?
Hey man, get your cousin, Black man.
Man, look.
Get your cousin, man.
The relationship, sex, blah 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 blah.
Can a relationship have success without romance?
Sexual satisfaction.
Sexual satisfaction. Well, I try to be,
No.
satisfaction.
Trying to be cute. Yeah, come on.
You said trying to be cute.
What you said?
Relationship.
Courtney said no.
Courtney saying no.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Anyone that says yes is lying, especially as a man. No.
Well, you know,
I say yes, and I'm not lying.
So for you new jacks, then no, you can't. But for the people that are seasoned and been through some things,
that part. That part.
Have both.
That part.
You know, because at the end of the day, let me tell you something. People think that, it's going to be great forever. But when you run across that situation where nobody can do nothing, you better have the best loving relationship, and they need to blow you up.
When you get old enough and you cross that bridge where you physically can't, that's a different topic. But we're talking about the ability. We're talking about the ability, like you still have the ability to be satisfied, but you're not satisfied.
But the reality is this: you got to think about how much do I love the person, because the reality is this: if you are looking at yourself to be in a relationship and to be fulfilled all the time, it is not going to happen.
Right.
So I'm not looking to be fulfilled all the time, but to say that at this age, I don't want to be sexually satisfied with someone that I've already chosen to be in a relationship with. So I've already crossed the bridges of saying like, I love him. I like hanging out with him. I get just as much pleasure laying on his chest as I do having sex with him. Wherever we
Exactly.
are at the date, because
Well,
I
you
enjoy his
can, but
time.
the reality is this: you can do it when you're with the person you love.
Exactly.
Now, when you're not with somebody you love and care for, no, you may not want to deal with it. But when you're with somebody that you genuinely love, they love you. It's your best friend, your confidant, your homie, your ride or die. All that stuff doesn't matter, because you may be willing and you may be physically able to, but it's not a big deal in your relationship because you got other things that you're doing. You're experiencing life together. The whole thing about being in a relationship is to experience life together. If you make it just about, oh, I got to be sexually satisfied all the time. First of all, blow my mind with a conversation. Can you do that?
Exactly, that part.
Yeah, but that already exists.
Well, I didn't have that when I was younger to blow my mind with a conversation. It was all sexual.
Exactly, but that's the whole thing. When you're young, you looking to get your back, you're looking to get your back blown out. But the thing is
no, I'm not.
You gotta get
I'm not trying to get my back blown out. I can bust a nut for free and way cleaner without half the headache. So if it's just about busting a nut, I can bust a nut. I want the
look.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I want that first.
But what Dr. Cotton is saying and what I'm saying is, okay.
But what you guys don't get
I
is
believe that you can still have.
I'm not disagreeing with you though. I'm not
Yeah,
disagreeing.
you can still have a successful relationship without sexual satisfaction to a point. But it gets down to you have to know how to talk to somebody. Like Dr. Cotton says, you need to have something to talk about because you're not going
the conversation with your spouse. Why are you in the relationship to begin
exactly.
with?
You're not going to stay in the bed 24/7, 365.
I didn't say
you definitely got to have something to talk about when you get out of bed.
Absolutely.
All right, let me jump in for a second. Okay. What about if you're away from someone, a long distance? You know, can a relationship be successful if you're long distance with someone and has, sexual satisfaction?
If it's something that you both are agreeing on and you see each other, and when you see each other, you have sex, like people are busy. I could get a phone call and be out of town for like the next month. You know what I'm saying? Like the conversations are those fillers. When you're young, I don't think that it's impossible. I do doubt the majority of people's ability to not go and sleep with someone else during that time.
And long distance
and our little trust issues, but I don't
and long distance.
I'm gone for my man for 6 months that he's not down here in Miami running off to something or something's running after him.
If it's long distance, your sexual satisfaction can be once a month, once every 2 months. If you cool, you know what I'm saying? If you cool with that. If that's what's in your parameters and you want to make that work.
Extra in the building. I can FaceTime my man. We have technology.
That's what I'm talking. Yeah, you
know what I'm saying? There's no
now we're talking.
Like tell me.
Now we talking, man. We FaceTime. If
it's really that serious, like
I mean, and it will be that serious if you don't. It's just you got to do something. But you can't just
first of all, give people enough credit that people that are in long distance relationships have discipline enough to wait for the person that they're with if they love the person and they're in a real serious relationship. Everybody ain't out here dropping it like it's hot, trick or treat. Yeah. They ain't into all of that because nowadays a lot of things can happen when you make one bad mistake. Somebody and somebody ends up pregnant. So now one mistake would cost you if it's not with the person that you're saying that you truly love. So yes,
I'm not worried about pregnant. I'm with the way these streets are running. I'm worried about AIDS.
That's what I was about to say. If you lucky, you only gonna get pregnant because the other stuff.
Exactly.
Well, if you're long distance, you ain't getting pregnant. So what?
But you gotta give people enough to know that people are not out here prayerfully just being ratchet just to be ratchet because they live at a distance. Because you are affecting other people's lives. you know, one thing that made me stop dealing with people in relationships and just wait for God to send me my husband, because the Holy Spirit told me you collecting bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
He said, every time when you are in the relationship with the person, and that person has been with whoever they've been with, and then they've been with whoever they've been with, every time you lay down with one person, you collecting at least about 10 bodies.
That's why they called it body count.
So when he gave me that revelation, I said, I don't need no more body counts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need nothing, because at the end of the day, nothing really satisfies me. Y'all have to even ask yourself, when you are dealing with people, is it that you really like them, or is it entertainment purposes only?
Mm-hmm. But that's exactly what we're talking about. Because if you're in a long distance,
entertainment, it is not about you may like the person, but you ain't digging them like that. But because they're gonna do or give you what you want, then you do it. So now you're entertaining that, because you can go over here and get this when you want to, and go do whatever you want to do over here. But you're still collecting bodies. Mm-hmm. So if you're being entertained, why be entertained? Just wait till the right person comes. Because when the right person comes, then it's going to be good. You're going to feel right. Everything's going to go the way it's supposed to. But while you out here in these streets just doing whatever, nothing works. You're never satisfied. You run around crazy. And now you jump from one thing to the next thing.
But we're not speaking of it in that context, right? We're talking about if I'm in a relationship.
Right.
But that's what I said. If you're in a relationship, you got to give people credit that they're going to have enough discipline to wait for the person.
To not run around. Okay.
Yeah.
Nick is in the house, you guys.
Hey,
what's
Nick,
up, Nick? She said, "Yep, I'm a witness." Or that what she said? Hold on, Carrie. Carrie's in here too. Carrie said, "I believe it can." So, what did you not communicate? So, what did you not communicate?
So what she's talking about is what I was going to suggest. What I was going to say. If you're in a relationship, or especially if you're in a long distance relationship, it's important to understand your partner's sex drive.
Yes, big part.
You know what I'm saying? If it's homeboy that got to hit it twice a week or something, you know, or homegirl that needed, you know, every day, then hey, shit, okay, all right, we done. Yeah, you can't do long distance with somebody like that. Right. You have to know your partner. You have to understand what their sexual needs and wants are. That all comes down to communication.
And that goes to what she said too, is being, you know, someone that's been seasoned to the point where, you know, they're looking for just more than that. You know, they're looking for a partner or whatever the case may be. But you know, in reality, though, you know what I'm saying, there's going to be some sort of, especially if you're like Courtney was saying, FaceTiming or something, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get, you know, because you're attracted to her. It's going to spice up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But if she ain't giving that, or he ain't giving that, or whatever the case would be, chances are the relationship might not go.
No, it's not. No,
you know,
no, not at all.
So yeah, so that's where that's what I believe anyway.
You're telling on yourself, you. You're telling on yourself.
I ain't tell nothing. What are you talking about?
That boy said he can't hold it, huh?
Exactly. I can't hold it.
Boy, take care
I'm just saying, I mean, we have to be on that same page, though. You know,
definitely on the same page.
We got to be on that same page.
I believe.
Go ahead,
Austin Michael said, "I believe if it's the right person, you can totally have a long distance." Yeah. There's not a lot of these. There's not a lot of those people, though.
Right.
You can totally. If you
don't really prioritize. We don't prioritize traditional marriage like your generations did.
Well,
we don't. Like, the divorce rate is higher than it's ever been. The marriage rate is lower than it's ever been. Like, people my generation are not getting married. Like, the value that's been put on marriage right now, like in this time, is really at an all-time low. Like, the bar is literally close to hell.
Well,
like, this is what I'm between.
With long distance relationship, it forces you to get to know the person.
True.
Because you're having conversation, dialogue. So you're spending more time getting to know them. And the intimacy part is not a big issue, because now you're having to talk, you're having to ask questions, you're getting to understand if they're moving.
To me, I'm kind of.
I want to do all of that before I have sex with a guy, anyways.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
You can have that.
Happen before I even get anywhere near that.
The thing is this: a lot of people don't do that. So
Yeah.
when you're in a long distance relationship, it forces you to do these things because you can't call him and he's coming down the street in 5 minutes. You know, she's at your door at 2. You got to have a conversation, you know, what's going on in your life? What are the things you've experienced? You know, this is where, you know, people, when you don't have these conversations and you and this person is dating, now you dragging bags and they dragging bags. You show up at the same door. Both of y'all got bags and they're sitting at the door. Nobody goes in the bags until you get 150. Now you want to open the bag to see what's in there. And there's all the stuff that you never talked about before that you should have had this conversation about.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Marshall, he's wilding out on Instagram.
Marshall goofy. Yeah, you know he crazy.
Marshall talking about you just recalled. Who you talking about, Marshall?
Look, why my wife putting all this on here? Or you have heart surgery and your poor husband has to wait a minute.
But see, that's kind of
put the minute out there, dude. You put the boy minute out there.
That kind of went to my point, though. That was one of the points I was going to make.
Go ahead,
to me, that's different context of a relationship, right? I think that where Courtney is coming from is she's at her vibrant stage, right? She wants her partner to sexually satisfy her, but this is a married couple we talking about, right? They're a team.
They're already there.
So they're already there. They've already made that transition. He's going to love her regardless, to Dr. Cotton's point. But also with Courtney, I think she made a great point in a sense of where are you? Right? Where are you guys in your relationship? Like Black Liv, where's your sexual drive as a couple and then individually? Because if I don't hold sex that high, but you do, we still have to meet in the middle sexually. Right? Because I have to compromise with you. So I think that one, to answer the question, I do think that a relationship can sustain without sexual satisfaction if both people are trying.
Right.
That makes sense, right? In this sense, in where Black Liv and Jill are going through something tragic, right? That's different.
That's all
but then
different,
in the sense of when you're in a relationship and y'all vibrant, it's not that you're gonna want your partner's intimacy. And I think that understanding that is the most important thing about sex, the success of sex in a relationship, because it is a pivotal thing. Because like she said in that same comment to her husband, poor guy, right? Because she knows, right, that it is a sacrifice.
I apologize.
You feel what I'm saying? I apologize
for your business out.
You feel me? But
Man,
I love the fact I love the fact that she says that, right? Because that just shows
the conversation.
That shows their relationship, right?
Exactly.
That shows that he's concerned about her, but she's also concerned about his sexual satisfaction.
Exactly.
That is a marriage, right? And it goes back to Courtney's point that it is a big part, but when it goes to your point as well, when you guys are really deeply rooted and evenly yoked, y'all can look beyond the sex momentarily or indefinitely until everything gets together.
But you can do that even before you even get to the marriage. See,
yeah, absolutely. I agree.
You know, back in the old days, they used to court.
Yeah.
And courting, what they did is they spend a lot of time together just to see if they liked each other like that. And if there was no relations until they said I do. You know, we are so jacked up because we think the relationship should come first, and then you have the relations, and if they're not good, you don't want to talk.
You don't want to be there no more. Right.
You know, so this is why you should be in a relationship, having relations with someone, even if your hormones is off the chain. You got to figure that piece out, but you got to have some discipline. Because if I'm getting to know you, and now I go over here and you are horrible in bed, oh, I'm out. Because I can't deal with it. Now you done messed me up because the conversation may be decent, but now that I'm over here taste testing, it ain't working out for me. Now I don't want to have any more conversation. I don't want to talk to you anymore because I'm turned off. And so you have to stick with what you know. Get to know the person. Stay in a relationship. Court each other. hang out. And then when you say, okay, I want to go to the next level, still have discipline and not get involved to you saying, we're going to do I do. And then when you do I do, whether each other have everything you want or not, you're going to think it's the best thing because you're now in love with the person. You're loving the person for who they are, not for all the other emotional attachments that came with the relationship before you ever got married. Learn how to communicate, learn how to just court one another, learn each other's ins and outs of the things they like, don't like.
I like that.
You can turn them on without even doing any of the sexual pieces. But you
just get banned.
Huh?
Yeah, Jill said that I just get myself banned.
No.
Like, no, you're not banned, honey. You're not banned.
Austin said he completely agree with you, Doc.
Yeah, but my thing, here's my one last quick question. So
I mean, Nick, I didn't see it.
So to come on this, what if you vibe on 9 of 10, but the sex is trash? What's your move?
The move is, and look, if you love, let me tell you this.
Before you go, Doc, sex can be worked on.
Yeah, I was gonna say sex
can be practiced. I think that we also forgetting that sex can be worked on. Now, if you love a person enough, you will be
work with it.
enough with them to work with them and tell them, oh no, not right there, kiss right here, rub right there. I like that.
As soon as I said that, I saw Courtney's face went sad. She was like,
Courtney.
I saw your face, Courtney. I saw you busted.
Courtney, I'm with you because my thing is this: if we put all that work in and we got lovey-dovey stuff, and then the sex ain't where it's supposed to be. But this is the thing: if you put that work in.
It's your wife.
No. I'm talking before just going into a building relationship. If you put a conversation in and work in and y'all start feeling for each other and stuff like that, that is going to work. It's going to work because you're not just thinking about just the sex. You're thinking about how much you care about this person, how much you want this person, how much you're going to, and you're going to get on the conversation of, baby, how can I satisfy you? What do I like? What you like or whatever. You have those conversations. Now, if she just stupid crazy, like I can't do that. No, then okay.
What you asking
It's a
them
done
to do?
deal. Yeah, I'm just saying.
What you asking them to do, my friend?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's real talk though, because if it get to a point where if it's something that you are not getting, you're going to get it from somewhere else. Period.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's 100%.
Yeah. So if it's something that you guys didn't discuss until y'all got to really know each other and all that, then you just bring it up, and she's like, "Oh shoot, I don't know if I can do all that."
Yeah, and if that's a deal breaker, it's like
you gotta ask questions.
I gotta go.
I just had a conversation about that. You gotta have questions.
Nick,
I
give
would
us
say
that question again. I don't know
on
what it
your
was.
kink level, you definitely gotta let your spouse know your kink level and where you going and how you going about it. Your kink.
Yeah, your kink level.
Your kinky. Your kink level. The shit you like, shit you don't like.
You down to whips and chains, that kind of stuff.
You want to walk them like a dog, or how you gonna do it? Because it's crazy. Like, all
right, man, we ain't gonna get banned. P. Diddy up in this
boy. There are people that like certain things. They like women. Some women like to be spit on. There's all kind of shit going on.
Bro. Okay, move on.
Yeah, let's go.
Move on.
All right, so
the fuzzy handcuffs
over here. Y'all tripping. I don't even know why I'm talking over here. I was doing good, quiet, man. What I'm talking about?
Listen. All right. With that said, you guys, I hope you guys can hear this too. With this said, I got this video, and you guys let me know. It's a dear brothers, dear sister question, and it's probably more pertaining towards the lady. It can go for both of us, the lady and the guy. All right, so here we go. Did I do it again?
That boy.
Fuel, what are you doing, Fuel?
You know you.
Jesus.
You know you slow as hell, boy. Boy, you're cutting, boy. Boy, you're cutting, boy. You tripping, boy.
I need another job. This job just ain't working for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say IT is not your thing.
I'm gonna fire our technical director, y'all.
All right, continue talking, y'all. I got
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Just ask the question. What was the deal?
I don't know because it was more so of what she was saying in this comment. Let me see if I can bring it. Hold on, guys.
But I say that to say you can learn and teach your partner how to do things sexually.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think sometimes to go to what Dr. Cotton was saying, and to Courtney's point, because our generation is so caught up on sex that we don't really understand it. I can teach you how to satisfy me. A woman taught me everything I know about a woman's body. If a woman didn't teach me, I wouldn't know. So it's very easy to teach your spouse and vice versa. But I think that because we don't have the love that Dr. Cotton and Black Lip were talking about, it's very hard for us to have and exercise that level of patience with each other. And I also feel that if you have the ability to exercise that level of patience with each other, not only will sex become successful, it will start to become phenomenal, right? Because you have two people who are beginning to learn each other on a ground level, right? I think that sometimes we coming in with all of this experience and we need to know, and right, but as you know, as ladies know, you're different people, are different, right? And so once you get a chance to learn each other on a different level, I think that sex will ultimately end up being great anyway. But y'all gotta love each other enough to want to do that, and that's kind of where I'm going with that.
Yeah, you have to get to that point. You don't start out like that. It literally has to work up to that point. And that's exactly what you're saying, and it definitely makes sense. And you're right. Certain things people don't want to do.
The best activity is to ask your partner what they like. Communicate during the best. Take that. Yeah. Hey, no Diddy though. No, I agree.
No Diddy up in
no Diddy.
No Diddy.
I think for men especially, to get outside of your ego is definitely a special time to ask your woman what she like and dislike. Because you think you know because you've been having sex since she was young, but you don't know. You might not know.
Okay.
So,
all right, guys.
Can we get some audio to the video, Fuel?
Hold on, man. I have to even get it on there.
Look, he got it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then he gonna say, all right, y'all, like we talking too much. He ain't got the video loaded up or nothing.
Hey,
come
I shouldn't even be the operator around this bad boy. Man. I don't understand how I get to do all this crap.
Hey, come get your cousin. Tomorrow, next week, we're gonna set it all up. And we're gonna let me do the switcher.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, y'all know y'all will not be on the camera at all if you.
Hey, look, I went to school for this too. Shit, I know how to do it. I probably ain't touched the switcher in about 4 years.
Y'all in the same place, so y'all need to work this out.
I know, right?
Hey, what are we doing?
They're going responsibilities.
What are you doing? We ain't gonna do no video?
Yeah. Here goes the video.
Oh, you got it?
Guys.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Are we ready, y'all?
Natural bodies attract quality men. Overweight bodies attract user men. Be careful with what you do with your body. Your body will determine the type of man that you attract. Cosmetic BBL bodies attract drug dealers, gangbangers, club goers, players, thugs, unfaithful men. Natural bodies attract career men, businessmen, stable men, family men, husband material men, and if you're in the right setting, a rich man. Overweight bodies attract users, losers, abusers, criminals, men with ulterior motives. Your body is the first impression of who you are. BBL bodies don't keep men. Natural bodies attract quality men. Overweight bodies attract user men. Be careful with what you do with your body. Your body.
Fat boy's face. Oh,
because this shit I be talking about, y'all. I get context of where she was going.
Right.
I agree to an extent. But sometimes y'all gotta take these damn people phones and cameras, man. They got too much stuff to say. I agree, but I think that there's someone for everyone. I think that if you go on that content, it goes back to what we was just saying about our generation. We say some of the dumbest shit ever, and we really be trying to push it like it's law. I agree with what she's saying. Your appearance attracts who you want, but also your appearance can attract who can get you to a better appearance. You get what I'm saying? So it's all based on who messes with you or not. I don't like the way we give people cameras and they steer narratives, right? Because now you got girls with BBLs who feeling bad. Now you got natural girls bullying girls with BBLs. Now you got big girls feeling. You get me? It's too much big girl BBL shaming in there, and we should just be talking about the healthy balance of women in general, right? Period. Instead of fake body versus natural body, and let people live, but let's do the best approach for women in general. That's just my point, and then I'm gonna let the ladies go.
So this is the thing about, you know, the whole women and their bodies. When the video started out, and I forget which rap started with all the women, and they were you know, they had the BBLs and all that stuff, and that became very popular. And it became popular because you had a lot of video vixens that were now getting in the mix with these, you know, big time players and you know, all these drug dealers and rappers. They were getting in the mix based off of their body, but also they were getting help from some of the most, you know, underground people that were giving these different, you know, enhancements to these women to be the video vixens that they were in the videos.
Right.
When you take that and you make it like it is what a woman is supposed to look like, you give other women that are natural or women that may not be fully developed yet, period, they can get have a complex if they're not secure about who they are. And so now you have everywhere you turn and you look, you have everything about sexuality with women on the TV, you know, in the movies. You have something that is showing a woman's body. And so for women that, you know, are making money and they've been just as thin as they want to be, you know, just naturally, just beautiful and good the way they are, but because they see the attention is going to the women that are more curvy, you know, so now they want to have curves because that's something that they were not blessed with. But then they don't understand there's a risk with their health when you're doing stuff and adding enhancements to your body. And especially if you're not smart enough to know and understand what your body is anyway. So you can't put anything artificial in your body and think you're going to be good for the rest of your life.
Right.
Because it's not.
It's not.
It eventually starts to, you know, reject things. That's why I said, you know, people can say whatever, a BBL, you can do all the stuff you want to do with that, but you're always going to have maintenance. Natural, you go about your business, get up and go do whatever you're going to do, and you're good. All you got to do is maintain it and stay toned.
Yeah.
Yeah, be healthy. But you cannot sit here and she's right about everything, because a lot of the things she said was really how men look at women based on their shape, based on how they look. They're all walking around with too tight of clothes because they want to be seen. So when you have women exploiting themselves, it ain't even the guys exploiting them, it's women exploiting themselves and each other.
Yeah.
So you exploiting yourself, you're going to get what you get because you think that's what you need. But the reality is that is not what you need.
You realize later it's not what you need.
Yeah, you need to get yourself together. So what the young lady said, everything she touched on, I agree with it, because it does. That's how it goes. And it's the crazy thing is that for our society to think and look at women as objects. Like you're just looking at a woman, she dressed like this. That's an object for guys. You know how old school used to say, you know, trophy. They get the finest girl or the one that's dressed a certain way. She's a trophy. They taking her and doing this. And, you know, people do that because why? They want somebody to see that they got somebody that looks nice on their arm, but her brain may not be working. You
What
know,
do you think? What do you got?
So I disagree. I disagree.
Well, you disagree.
I disagree with that whole video.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
So that's part of the issue that's going on in our society right now. A woman should be able to do whatever she wants to do to make herself feel nice.
Mm-hmm.
If she wants to get a BBL, cool, so be it. Now, what you're talking about though is what kind of men they attract.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, now you said the key word. They can attract whatever man they want, or whatever man walks up to them, but they do not have to accept that.
Exactly.
They
True.
don't have to accept that man.
no, but
You know what I'm saying? And so if you're a woman and you feel better with a BBL, hey, go do you. If you feel better with breast implants or you feel like you're looking for something else, cool. But once again,
but why are we now as women of color, especially of any ethnicity, because Hispanics are doing it too? Why are we now, when we used to be okay with our bodies, wasn't thinking about that, but then as soon as things start popping off where you can visually see something differently, now you want to take and change yourself. That's like the Barbie doll. Forever and ever, we've had women that have been trying to be Barbie and have gone through 100 surgeries to make themselves look like Barbie. And some of them are coming out looking like a hot mess.
Well, but the girls want to be doing surgery on their lips, man.
Because that's the way, Dr. Cotton, because that's the way society rolls. That's the way history rolls. Because even back in the Baroque days, okay, like back when they painted those paintings, fat chicks was it. Because if you was fat, bitch, you was rich. You could eat. You know what I'm saying? And then it got to skinny.
It was a natural thing. It wasn't that they were trying to do that. It was naturally what was happening with them, with their bodies and growing up. So you got to allow yourself to have some room to grow. We forget that we're still, even though you may be 25 or 30, you may be a size 2. You're not being a size 2 at the age of 50. You're going to gain some weight. And all the stuff that you're taking to go put on you so you can have that 50-year-old body at the age of 25 or 27, you're going to be wishing that you wouldn't have that, because you're going to have to figure out how to take some of that off. So give yourself room to grow. When you love yourself, you're not worried about what other people are thinking.
But just like you said, all those trends with BBLs and stuff like that are just pushed by society.
Yeah.
But the bottom line still comes down to the fact that you don't have to accept that.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. If you in your head is weak, and if you've never been told that you were beautiful, if you've never been reassured that you're good enough, if you've never been told that, hey, you're more than enough, you got it going on. You don't need to do all of that. The way you are, you're good. But if nobody's giving you that and nobody's reassuring you of that, then you do what you think you need to do, because society is showing you that this is what you need to, this is how you need to be. This is like,
furthermore, you have women who are having surgeries just to be competitive in their career.
Exactly.
No, yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Thing. You know what I'm saying? There's literally women who will tell you, I got my boobs done because I noticed I made more money at work this way. Yeah. I got my ass done because this is what was attracted. Like at the end of the day, Cardi B came out once and she said, you guys don't want me to have music that talks about sex all the time. I tried to drop music that wasn't about sex. You didn't buy it. I'm paying bills here. So, it boils down to our generation. We want to be loved. We're one of the most unloved generations, and we're taught to hate ourselves. Women especially. We're so hypersexualized, and at such a young age. When I work with the kids, these teenagers, 13, 14, they have Kim Kardashian makeup, lipstick, Gucci socks and bags on. Like, I didn't even learn about designer shit until I was in my mid-20s. And, and I never really cared much for it. The value for both young men and young women is the metrics have changed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's really distant. Like, it's hard to love yourself when the world is telling you not to.
True.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I don't think that has anything to do with that don't love themselves because they're not being told that they're being loved. Or
get what you're
men,
yeah.
young men are visual creatures. You can't
Of
lie.
course.
You know how many women get left for younger women? I mean, how many women get left for younger women?
Those
There's not
are
a lot of men who get left for younger men.
I have to say this. I gotta change this, y'all. Those aren't men. Those are boys, right? Because men aren't just leaving their women because they get older. I think we all have to start to change the things that we say, right? Women aren't leaving their husband. Like real women and real men are in this thing together, right? There's no competition. I think,
but that's a scarcity. We're talking about the majority, and that unfortunately is the reality for the majority.
It goes to his point. The reason why it's the reality for the majority is because it continue to be perpetuated.
Absolutely, and this is exactly why conversations like this are so important, so that we can push the narrative different.
And the thing is that you if I'm in the mall, right, and I'm sorry, Jill, I'm gonna tell you this. If I see somebody with their tatas out and their BBL,
all right, man. The show's over. I'll see you next week.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I might give him a glance, but I'm like, nah, I ain't fucking.
He's not even wife material.
That.
And I
ain't nobody trying to mess with that. It looked like clown shit to me.
Of
course, that's what you think, and that's what you say, and that's the narrative behind the doors with men. But what women are hearing and these young girls are hearing that's not their reality.
Because they've been told by other women.
Yes, I look, but that's not who I'm taking home.
But they've been told by other women what men want instead of going to men and asking men what they actually like.
We're not even talking about having to ask. We're watching you run after them. If I had all of you guys random tests, you walking through the mall and you got a nice looking girl here, and then a girl who she doesn't have to have a BBL. She could just have a fat ass, short shorts on, like she's provocatively dressed. You're going to pay attention to that one first because, and I'm not going to stop and ask you why. It's about optics. That's what we fail to understand. It's not about what it really is. It's about what it looks like.
But optics for what? But optics for what purpose?
That's what I'm saying.
Optics for what purpose? It's not the purpose to attract a man.
No. I'm talking about the optics. I'm talking about the optics of what women see men want.
You mean what men want to see?
I follow what you said.
Not what men want to marry, or not what men. Not what
and
men
maybe because I live in Miami is different.
And those two different things.
When I go out to say I go out to a nice restaurant or something like that, the majority of men, back to I'm gonna start calling you Dr. Kai, and so he can keep it professional on set. Because I'm like right, Dr. Kai. So to go back to Dr. Kai's point, when I threw myself off when I called you Dr. it messed me up because I'm like, it's Ronda.
Let me call her Rhonda. Let me tell you this. So I had my ex had breast implants. She had the butt done. I think she won't admit it, but I know she did. And she had, I know she did. She never to this day. I ain't do nothing. It didn't look like that yesterday. Goddamn. Don't no potatoes do that quick. But anyway, no, and to y'all point, even though and I love this girl and I was attracted to her because of her personality and who she was and how we got along and all that type of stuff. But then when we still went out, every now and then, if I seen somebody else with the same thing, I was still looking. Because that kind of it was just the type of thing I thought that was to attract us. And it basically do. You know what I'm saying? So in reality, it ain't like, we don't want it because I had one. So it ain't like we don't really want it. I've had one. Now, although the relationship just didn't go well because of her and personality and just the way it had nothing to do with, if she got this boobs done and her butt done and all that type of stuff, So when it comes to what you guys are saying, the narrative of it being, that and that's why I do agree with Courtney, is because that is the narrative. It's kind of like you won't, we're going to look, we're going to be attracted to because that's what's out there. That's what's been out there for us. You know what I mean? So if anybody say, "Oh, we ain't gonna look," or we ain't, you know, and if that opportunity and that girl comes up to you and say something that you ain't gonna at least think about it, you're gonna at least think about it.
Nope, I'll look at it.
Not if you're married. I mean, I ain't talking about if you're married.
Well, even before I was married, but go ahead.
A whole different thing when you're married. But I'm saying, as far as us being single out there, whatever, and let two of them come up. Let one of the girl with a natural body come up to you, and a girl with an breast comes up to you, or whatever. Who you gonna look at first?
I'm knocking them both. You know how we do.
I'm
gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that question. I'm gonna answer that question like this. I might look at that, but I know myself, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I got a type.
Yeah.
I like thick chicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's a personal preference, of course.
I like thick chicks. Look, all that BBL and shit and all that stuff. I might look at it, but that ain't my type.
That ain't what I like. I agree.
Right, that ain't what I like. That ain't my type.
And you know what? That's the secret that the women don't get. I mean, listen, it's common sense to us, but it's thicker than concrete to these women out here.
Right.
They don't get that.
That
They don't understand that.
Cause I like regular. I ain't gonna lie. Like I see the bad. Like I see them. I like regular women. What I mean by that is natural body women with sexiness, thick, voluptuous women.
If you look at celebrities, like big celebrities, if you really look at these people and you look at their spouses, the ones that are not dating other actors, they're regular people.
Exactly.
You remember when Power came out and everybody saw Ghost's wife?
Yeah.
And they ran her through the mud.
Right.
I mean, look at Denzel's wife. She's regular.
DJ Khaled's wife. She's not by far, you know. But if you, it's right there, but they don't get it. You know what I'm
saying? Nick said, "I can't." That's BS. Your heart, personality, and spiritual connection. Gold attracts all types.
I agree.
Goals attract all types. Yes. We got quite a few comments, y'all. We was talking our butt off. You can't be placed in a stereotype. There, wait a minute. She goes. She said, "You can't be placed in a stereotype. That's what's wrong with the world today." Yep. Austin, I don't know why you say Jill was lying about something. I don't know. Go ahead, Fat Boy.
It says, waiting to exhale, Michael Rich fed that pretty lady, stating he wanted to give her the world. What is it? And he, bigger man, dumped her for unknown reasons. She was gorgeous but had mental issues. Who?
I don't know who he's talking about, but
he's talking about the movie Waiting to Exhale.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He was also a goofy and he liked boobies.
Right.
You gotta rewatch the movie. You missed that whole part.
Look, man, the crazy high scale is a thing. I don't give a damn what nobody say.
Listen, I just saw a great video the other day. It was an Asian influencer, and she was proving the point that how a woman dresses, which is kind of like a version of what that lady is saying, it directly affects how men interact with you and treat you. And so she pretended that she had a flat tire, not a flat tire. She pulled over and had her hood up. And she was dressed in like some baggy pants, t-shirt, ball cap. Super hot chick, like hot by any standards. Nice body, natural body, but nice body. You know what I'm saying? She works out, her butt's big. She was blessed with big boobs. Really beautiful woman. Nobody stopped by. She put on a dress. And I'm talking about, they didn't just come. They came, and then there was another one, and then there was another one, and they came while other people were already there. And at one point, it was like 4 cars all trying to help this woman figure out what was going on under her hood.
And y'all need to, as women, y'all need to watch them men. Because I would have rolled by her ass too. Because
exactly. I don't stop for nobody.
That's corny. That's what I'm saying. Those are men who are overly sexualized and they're little boys. Those aren't grown men.
I'm gonna keep out. Look,
I'm gonna look at her and she's not sure about the ride. I'm gonna take that ride. I'm going.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. In today's society, everybody got a damn cell phone. I'm not pulling over for nobody.
No, for real.
It's some crazy mofos out here.
If this is just and just to go to the point now, if I see a woman on the side of the road, I'm going to help her despite who it is. You get what I'm saying? But I leave that woman despite who it is too, and what she's wearing in the same fashion. And that's a real human being and a real person. Jill says, I get it. I get it to a point. People will treat you how you treat yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, it comes across as not valuing yourself. So why should they?
I agree with that to a certain extent. I forget where I saw it, but a woman was, she's a big workoutaholic, and she's like, we get so much shit about being in shape, and it's like, you make me feel bad for having a good body that I worked hard for, but do you have any idea the amount of discipline it takes for me to keep this going? How can a man trust me to take care of him when I'm not even taking care of myself? Like, I'm talking about majorly obese. Like, you're not taking care of yourself. You want to be around. That's longevity. That's health span. How long you want to be around. The number one factor that can have you living long and healthy is exercise. The statistics measurably are through the roof. Diet and exercise.
I got a question.
But there are people that can't do that.
What kind of women do dad bods attract?
I've completely had a crush on a guy who had a dad bod.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with that, I think it's that, you know, women look more toward a guy that is going to nurture, be there, be caring, that can.
Do I feel safe?
And,
like the guy's body doesn't really matter for women.
No, not
as much.
Come on, y'all.
No. So no, seriously. So at the end of the day, if the person is healthy, they don't have any medical issues, you know, and they may be overweight, but overall their health is good. Yeah. And they treat you well, they take care of you, they provide, they do all the things for you that a man is supposed to do. You're not stuck. What you need as a woman is to know that a man has your back. Right. I would be comfortable. You can't be skinny like me, because I that's gonna mess me up.
Right.
I can't do thin men. If I don't date men that are thin. If you don't weigh more than I do, we can't date, because it is not going to work out. Because if something, I feel like I gotta protect you. Instead of
no, and my wife has said that to me. My wife has said that to me several times, that regardless of me, I make her feel safe. Secure. I make her feel secure. I make her feel that if the shit go down, it's gonna go down.
Why do you think little bitty women want these men that are 6 feet, 6'10", all of that? Not because it's just that they there, but if something happens, they know that joker can snatch them up and roll out. They can protect them. Women are looking to be protected. So if you're a big guy and you healthy and you got your stuff together, I'm not worried about, you know, you being overweight, as long as you're healthy. But if you got everything else going together, then yeah, we're gonna rock together, because what I know is this: you got me. I'm not having to worry about if you got me or not. Because half of the time, and this is me just being real, half of these jokers out here that think they smoking and got it going on, they think they the prize. If you standing in the mirror longer than I do, it take you longer to get dressed.
It's the problem.
Oh, yeah, the metrosexual men around here, that ain't cool.
Yeah, but I don't want to deal with that. But as long as you're healthy, as long as you can do what you need to do, as long as if something goes down, you can do what you need to do to help protect. I can do my part. But women they're not really like that. The only women that get stuck on this whole thing about men and what they look like are the women that want to have the candy apple pie on their own. And normally these are the women that are making money, you know, so they hanging out in these certain circles. So everybody wants to be like, they want to look a certain way. They, you know, when I roll up with my dude, I want to look a certain way because I got Jones over here and they look in a certain way. So I'm in competition. That's really the problem with everybody. A lot of times people want to be in competition with one another. You cannot have the best relationship and know that it's genuine if you're always competing with these people that don't need competing against them. That's the reality. You're always competing with people that don't realize you're competing with them. So at the end of the day, get with somebody that you know that cares for you genuinely for who you are. Men want to love. When a woman can love bomb a man, I don't care how big he is. He becomes the biggest teddy bear. But let something outside of that door to her, he becomes the biggest grizzly bear.
And the truth of that, what you guys are saying, and if you actually look and see, you'll see a gorgeous woman with out of shape guy, and it's because that guy is providing, that guy is protecting. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what they look at. So I agree with you guys.
I used to ought to be out of shape and keep a baddie.
That's why he called fat boy. That's why they call him fat boy. Hey, dad bods are in, and we'll always be in. If you go to fight someone and they have a dad bod, you're about to find out. If they are over 50 with a dad bod, you're going to meet Jesus.
That's the shit. Because he is not boxing so stupid.
Look, yeah, that's my boy Austin. He already know what time it is. You finna meet Jesus, right? Real quick.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're gonna be smoking.
That's funny.
That's it.
All right, man. On that note, you guys. That was good. That was good. That was good. Good show, you guys.
2 hours, Fuel.
Hey,
I try to tell you, bro.
This content need to be chopped up. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you're gonna see everything posted like 50 daggone. You'd be like, damn, where'd that come from? It was a 2-hour show. That's what it was. That's what it was. But we gonna grow these numbers, y'all. I mean, people are starting to come in new and stuff like that, loving the show. So we just keep on, and everybody else, you know, and every time we come on, y'all share, because you can even, you know, on your own page, you can actually hit it and be live on your own page, whatever, all that good stuff. So, but we need to start getting on that, huh? Meet your hunt? No, because we had 200 or 300 something last week, so. It don't look like it when we live on here, but when I get off of it, it's some numbers going up there. So that's what's up. And I appreciate Rhonda and Courtney as usual.
Ladies, we appreciate you for sure.
Right. Let me get y'all that. Oh, I can't get it.
Get your cousin, man.
Killing me, man.
He ain't got a sound cue right now.
Not one sound.
So he ain't cued the
because I
sound
don't like sound
yet.
cues anyway. Hello,
Hello,
Lewis.
Sherry, you late?
You're late.
We're at the end now.
We love that you popped in this thing, though. We really appreciate it.
Right. Hey, once again, you guys, if you can share this about Lance, he's in and out of the hospital now, and I have a GoFundMe page going for him. So if y'all can, you know, just I don't care if it's just leaving a note or something like that on the page or whatever to show your love and care, you know. But if you can donate, you know, donate. I don't care if it's $1 or 20 cents. I don't care. Just show that you care. You know what I'm saying? That we got that going on. What else we got, Fat Boy?
Dear brothers, dear sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Send a short clip, no longer than a minute, audio or video to firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. That's firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. And that's going to be a dear brother, dear sister. And what I would love is from our two special guests. I would love 2 from you ladies. I would love a dear brother from each of you and a dear sister from each of you. I would love to see how you 2 construct those questions and see how they work out over the show. Other than that,
I think Fat Boy just put y'all to work.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
I'm already on it.
Other than that, I definitely appreciate y'all. To our guests, to the ladies, I appreciate y'all input, y'all output, and your brains. I think you're awesome. Black Lift, I love you, brother. You know that. Fuel, get your cousin. You know, Fuel, I love you as well, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all opinions, man. I appreciate everyone that tapped in, and I love every last one of y'all, for real, for real. And Sherry, we start at 6 o'clock, 9 Eastern.
6 o'clock, girl.
9 Eastern. So make sure you pop out on us. And ladies, please come back.
Rhonda.
Well, I want to say great show, great topics. And, you know, the thing is this, when you walk away from the show is that, you know, the ideal is that somebody grabs some nuggets that they can use.
There you go.
Not just sitting here being entertained, but get something that they can actually take and use until the next week. Because it's always going to be great conversation. And, you know, this is how you get to you love on the people that you know, and you jive together, you talk about it, but you bring information that's very important because we've got to change the narrative of how people are looking at us and how people are expecting us to live our life, you know. But when you're authentically you, all you do is do what you do. That's it.
Courtney, you have something before we leave?
Amen. You guys, listen. Stay focused. Listen to your heart. Everything they're telling you is a lie. Question the question. Question the question. If it doesn't feel right, it ain't.
It ain't
If
true.
you don't feel good, leave.
It ain't right.
It's a big world out there. Don't let conditionalism confuse you and make you think that you don't have options out there, because like we were talking, there's so many people out that are lost and that are caught up in the narratives, and we're out here. The rebels are out here standing strong, waiting for you. So stand up. Do something kind today. Do something. Well, it's late. Do something kind tomorrow for no reason. I challenge everyone to go out there and do something kind this week for absolutely no reason to a stranger. I don't know. Buy somebody's groceries. Fill up somebody's gas when they're not looking. I don't know. Do something kind. And let's just watch how these effects start rippling back to us.
That's what's up. What do you did you get it? Did I go? Did I get you?
Nah, man, you left me last. Ain't that a man? I told you I can't even get my name on here. They give me last. They just
What are you talking about?
All right, but Courtney, Dr. Cotton, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all being here because you're kind, beautiful, intelligent, and don't let nobody tell you that you're not, because you are.
Thank you.
Fuel, Fat Boy, you know, love y'all. Everybody make sure you tell somebody. And one thing to go along with what Courtney said, I don't care if you're going through a drive-through or if you're at a grocery store and you're checking out and somebody's helping you, speak to them. Speak kindly to them. If you see somebody at the gas station, like Courtney says, just say hi, wave. Because one kind word can switch around somebody's whole narrative. You don't know if that person may be going on their way to shoot up a school or to go rob something or something like that, because they think there's nobody in the world that is a good person.
Right.
It don't cost a dime to be kind.
That's what's up.
Just talk to people. My family makes fun of me because I make friends at the gas station, at the Waffle House. I make friends everywhere I go. But you know why? Because that can make somebody's day.
Yeah.
Amen.
All right. And we'll work on the time. We'll work on the time. Our conversations get so good and so deep sometimes, man. It just fly right past us. You know what I mean? So for one, I appreciate you guys that's hanging in there with us and watch the whole show. You know, even though it'd be 2 hours, they still be there. So that's what's up. I appreciate you guys. I think that's gonna do it for us today, man. Yeah, everybody good? Everybody good?
Yep.
All right. And remember.
And
if they talking about you behind your back,
they behind you for a reason. Peace.
I got it right.
Just will get the parade, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember,